Hey, welcome back to another episode, Undefeated with Michael Montgomery. I have the prestigious Rafer Alston, hailing from Jamaica, Queens, junior college All-American, street basketball legend, the NBA legend, a.k.a. the Energizer, a.k.a. Skip to my Lou, Rafer Alston.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Man, thanks again. I really appreciate the opportunity. I just wanted to just get off into it and start from the beginning, from New York. Mm-hmm. You know, some of my close friends are from New York. I love the gritty, hard street, hard personality. Mm-hmm. Talk about how New York molded you on a perspective from basketball on and off the court.
Well, New York, especially growing up in the mid-'80s to early 90s, even part of close to the mid-'90s, before I went off to college. You know, you're growing up in tough times. You're growing up during a crack epidemic. Yeah. And, you know, it made you tough. I think everything that was surrounding us, where we live in, growing up, playing ball, where our friends live, everything surrounding us, it taught us to be tough. It taught us to be self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. And it made us a little mature behind our years because we were exposed to a lot at such an early age. So, therefore, as I kept getting older, it was things that normally would bother you and affect you. It really didn't bother and affect me.
Man, that's what's up. It's a funny story. My uncle, well, he's like a play uncle, but he used to be a cop in New York in the 70s, in the late 70s and the early 80s. He was an undercover cop, and he talked about his stories, and they made a TV show about him called the New York Undercover.
So one of our best shows.
Yeah, it was one of the best shows. And he talked about how, man, his first 3 days, 3 shootouts. He was undercover, and it was crazy. What about in New York? And as you was growing up, did you have somebody like, you know, looking out for you? You know, for in a sense when you was
growing up. You know, when it's one of those situations in New York City that. It's like when you're born, you were like born basketball players. It's kind of like the reverse for Florida kids and California kids, where as soon as you're born, they want to put the football in your hand. For us in New York City, it's the basketball. So with that being said, once the neighborhood and coaches and people realize that you have a gift with the ball, a love affair for the game, and you have a talent, so many people are going to gravitate you and try to help you. Some they have their own reasons why, and some just want you to make it and not be another guy that coulda, woulda, shoulda. You know, just be one of those guys from the neighborhood that, you know, had the opportunity to make it but didn't. So I've had since 8 years old, man, a couple of coaches, and then I met a guy. He was my coach when I was 9. I want to say 10. Named Mike Bell. He passed away. He was like a coach, an uncle, a mentor. He was like everything to me. I could always count on him if I needed to call him all hours of the day, or if I'm doing wrong or something was just going wrong. He was always there. And I had another friend I met when I was like 16, 17, I want to say. Not same last name, but Mike. His name is Mike Ellis. And he was the same thing. You know, these guys were like my backbone. You know, these guys were there through thick and thin, always trying to make sure you know, I'm on a straight and narrow path. So during those travels, though, and these guys being in the back, I've strayed. I've made some bad decisions, but they were always around to make sure I get back on the right track.
Man, that's what's up. So you're sir one of the youngest guys who played basketball at Rutgers. And you talked about, and I just want to, I love the story. I know you said it multiple times, but just here for how the Skip to Malou nickname came about.
Skip to Malou came about, I was young. The first time I played in Rutgers Park, my high school coach took me out there. I was 14 years old, and we had all these like high school All-American and guys that were about to go off to major Division I colleges. Yeah. So, you know, we were like the youngest team in there because it's a pro-am league. So most of the guys are older than these high school kids and myself. And so at this time, I sub off the bench whenever it's a blowout. Because I was skinny, scrawny, short. These kids, these guys are 18, 19 years old. They were, you know, filling out body-wise, maturing-wise. And so when I started on the bench, I'm weaving through the defense, and everybody, the commentator at the time, they would call me the Energizer. And they were like, man, that's the Energizer because he keeps going and going. So a year later, those guys are gone, and you know, now I go back out there, and now I'm the focal point of the team.
Oh.
And so I came down one time. I just thought of this. I said, what could I do to get the crowd off their feet? And it was the other team was shooting a free throw, and I was just standing. I said, you know what? If I ever get a chance to be on a 2-on-1, 3-on-1, I'm just gonna put a little backspin on the ball, but I'm gonna be skipping with the ball right alongside of me. And if the defender goes for it, I'm gonna wrap it around my back, throw it to my teammate. Now I just thought of this on the fly.
Yeah.
Had no idea that the opportunity was about to present itself a couple of plays later, and I did it, and it worked. And everyone just jumped on the court, and it went crazy. And the commentator's like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new nickname for him. That's Skip to my Lou. So
was the game over? Or they just rushed it?
The game wasn't over. They had to stop. Everybody get off the court, go back to their seats. We had to resume the game. I mean, needless to say, we won the game. Yeah. We were up big though at the time, so I wouldn't do this any kids listening and everything. I didn't do it when it was a 1-point game. We were already up like 18 with like 2 minutes to go in the game. The game was pretty much in the bag. And I did something to get them off their feet. So after that, then I started doing it in the middle of the game or when the game was on the line as the tournament kept going on. Yeah. And the craziest part, man, is who would ever thought that nickname would become legendary, and it would be something that would stick with me for the rest of my life, to the point where people will call me Skip more than they call me Rafer.
I know that was amazing to hear, because I saw the highlight and you just timed it perfectly.
Yeah.
I want to talk about defining moments. Like me, I played pro ball. Mm-hmm. There was a moment where I knew I just had to make it. My mother, she got hurt at her job. She couldn't work. My nephew broke his arm. I wanted to adopt him. My folks divorced, and I knew I just had to be a man in the house and take care of my family. So I had to do whatever it takes to make it so I can set my family up financially. Was there a time in your moment where you thought back to your family or your friends or your surroundings where, I need to do whatever it takes to make it? Was there a defining moment in your life?
The defining moment for me was when I was in college.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So during my high school days, I didn't have the storybook high school read because of my own self-inflicted wounds. It was like not taking the book serious, so I had to go to junior college. Yeah. So I grew up in New York City, so I went to junior college in California. So the whole idea of go to California, I needed to get far away so I could concentrate and focus on what I need to focus on. So during those times in junior college, and then for sure when I graduated junior college and signed my letter of intent to go to Fresno State, that's when the defining moment hit. It's like, I'm out here for a reason, and I have a purpose. And that was the purpose. You're thinking about your family. I have a twin sister. I had an older brother, my mom, and I'm thinking about my family, growing up below the poverty line, things of that nature, my mom struggling. And that's tough to take on that burden. Like you said, you had to do. It's tough to take on that burden when you're young. But like you said, that's what we took on at a young age. And I just knew that I just need to continue to do what I'm doing, continue to work hard, continue to hit the books, and the main thing for me and like all my friends and peers and people that were older than me that were trying to help and guide me, they knew basketball was taking care of itself for me. For some reason, they saw this talent in me since I was a young kid. Yeah. It's hard for us to see it because everyone else was playing ball, and but I just felt at that time at Fresno State, I just need to just stay on the straight and narrow path and just continue to work hard in my game, that the chips should fall where they may.
Yeah, that's what's up. So from one junior college All-American to another, you said you got back on track from high school and you went to junior college, you got your grades. Talk about that academic struggle to get back to D1, because everything, I don't know if you see it, there was a show on Netflix called Last Chance.
It's about a California school. I love that show because it brought back so many memories of being in California junior college, and everything the coach was getting on those kids about and telling those kids is it was so true, because I remember my coach when I first got out there, it was the same exact thing. But the grades, what's so crazy? I found college to be a little easier than high school because I had so much time to get the stuff, to get the work done. So let's say the biology class was an hour or so, right? And it's not too many days where you're loaded up. So when you're a student athlete, you might have I might have 3 classes on Monday, maybe 4 on Tuesday. Then those other 3 come back. So it wasn't like I was in the school, like high school, where you're in there at 8 o'clock in the morning all the way to 3:40. You know what I'm saying? Now on a Monday, my day is done by noon or 1. And so I have all this time to get my work done. I can go study. I could, do everything I need to do. And then the toughest part about keeping your grades is when you're traveling, playing the sport. Because you have assignments that you need to turn in when you get back, and you have to find the time to tell the professor, hey, I need another day. Because, we were all the way in Temple. Because, we had a tough schedule when I was a freshman. We played at Minnesota, at Temple. So we were going across the globe. It wasn't like we just stayed in California.
Did y'all travel through like a van or y'all?
No, we flew.
Y'all flew?
Yeah. We might be going for 2 or 3 days. we might be going for 2 or 3 days. And sometimes, I remember at this time, Rice, SMU was in my conference, so we'll do the Texas swing. So we'll be down here in Texas for like 4 or 5 days because we got to play Rice on a Wednesday and play SMU on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So once I buckled down and focused and concentrate on it, a lot of subjects were hard, obviously, but I didn't take soft majors. I was a psychology major, so I took majors that were going to challenge me. But as long as I was there in class and I had that and took the time that I had, the free time that I so-called had, and took that and utilized it the right way, it wasn't a problem.
That's what's up. That's really good to hear. I picked the wrong junior college. And where I was at, we talked about this on air. Texas, back in the early 2000s, they wanted you had to pass the Texas exam. You had to get at least 80 to 90 transferable credits. Then you had to maintain a high B, because some Division I schools don't. Right. They don't cross over. But so you went to Fresno State, and you played there 1 year, and then you was gone. Was that the plan all along to do one and done?
I mean, that's the dream. Yeah, the dream is always, all these kids got it now. They have it now. Yeah. Right. But, for me, now it goes back to the question you asked before, taking on that burden to have to take care of your family. Yeah. I think once the year ends, now that tough decision comes because you still got to face the reality of what's going on back home. And I think that's what ultimately made the decision for me to leave right after that 1 year, my junior year. I was drafted in 1998, second round. I know the crazy part about the draft that day, the first round goes by, and your name's not called, and I'm sitting there like, I made the wrong decision. So before they even got to the second round, I'm already thinking about plan B. I'm calling my friend Eddie Lau, who ends up becoming my manager. Yeah. I'm like, man, what's plan B? Man, start getting overseas, but then all of a sudden they called my name in the second round, and the rest was history, man. I ended up playing 11 years in the NBA,
man. That's good. I had a similar situation myself. I got first team. I thought first team Big 12 would get me where I need to go because Big 12 is a big conference.
Yeah, it should have.
Back in the day. So, and I was a first year started. I started my senior year. Junior year I had a little surgery, but then my senior year I started, balled out, and then I thought I was gonna get late fourth, third. It didn't come. Second day, I started calling my agent. Hey man, I should have stayed in school. But I got a name called, and then the rest was history. So played.
For you guys, you start thinking about, I might as well go to the CFL.
CFL wasn't even a question for me. I was thinking like, man, if I can't get in the NFL, why would the CFL want me? So I was like, man, I'm gonna just go back to school or go to the Army or something. I look, man, school wasn't my thing. I knew I could take orders. Football is just about orders and playing your position. Mm-hmm. I knew Army wouldn't be too hard physically. Right. So you play in the league. So how old was you when you thought you was in your prime? What age?
In the NBA when I was
Yeah.
I want to say 26, 27.
And in today's rules, in the NBA rules, how much you think you could about your finished stat line, points, rebounds, and assists?
I don't know. Today's game is more of a cardio game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the physicality of it is not there because of the rules, and everyone wants to shoot threes. So going to the days of driving hard and getting bumped and killed in that paint, what I mean? So from a cardio standpoint, man, as long as I'm making threes, I could probably get about 10, 11 points, 4 or 5 boards, and 5 or 6 assists a game. Yeah, I mean, because I'm one of those players that I try to play all around. Scoring is not my focal point. Yeah. Trying to get 10 assists, 11 assists in a game. I just play the game. Yeah. And I just, I'm not focused on one particular stat. Like the one particular stat I'm always focused on is not turning the ball over. I'm a point guard. So in my whole career, I was probably one of the best, one in the top 10 assist to turnover ratio. So that's the one stat I always pride myself on, is not turning the ball over. But as far as points and assists, rebounds go, as long as you're out there playing. As with today's game, I might average more rebound because they shoot so many threes, so the ball's bouncing long. So I don't got to go in there and try to jump over the big people, which I can't do anyway. I can stand on the perimeter, the ball might come to me.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. And you just played in the league, and in today's game, you know, you had the opportunity to play with so many great players, play against Kobe, play against Lamar. You talked about Lamar, Dwayne Wade's first year. When you played against Kobe in the finals, what did you see that other people didn't see, like from a technical standpoint? Because everybody sees the game, but you're out on the floor and you can notice certain details that other people don't see. What did you notice? Like
the biggest thing I noticed with Kobe is his ability to defeat not only the players that are out there. He defeats those type of players defeat the coaches, and what I mean by that is, remember, a play like that, the majority of defensive focal point is geared to stop that guy, right? And for that type of player, being Kobe Bryant, to still know that the double team is coming, sometimes a triple team, know that we're trying to force them to go one way, and you still end up dominating the game and the series, that lets you know the winner within. You know, I think that was the biggest thing for me, is the winner within. Him, Michael Jordan, you could say LeBron, you name them, Magic, John, the greatest players. That's what separates them from all the other players, is the drive and the desire to defeat all the situations that's going to be thrown at them.
That's what's up. And I know you say you're doing coaching right now, you know, mentoring. Say, for instance, if you was coaching at the Brooklyn Nets, and Ben Simmons comes to you and says, hey, I want to step my game up. I want to become the ultimate point guard. What would you tell him to get him to where he's at now to where you think he needs to be?
The first part for him would be mentally. To try to be the ultimate point guard, you have to be mentally ready for that. And to hear that he's having mental issues, well, that plays a big factor in that part of the game, because it's kind of like football. The quarterback, if the quarterback's not mentally there, he's on the floor and he's starting. That team, that offense and team is not going anywhere. So for him to want to have he's approached me with that, I would first have to try to get him right mentally. Then second is just understanding what we're trying to do as a team and what he needs to do as a player, and it has to be in that order. It can't be what you need to do as a player and then what we need as a team. It has to be the other way around. So, and then understand who he is as a player at that time. And it helps you win everything. Okay. Right? So the understanding of who we are as a team and who you are as a player can make you a better player at those positions. Okay. I think for me, the mental aspect, and then just understanding your teammates and who you are as a team, and then who you are as a player. Yeah,
because like point guard, you said the team first, figure out how the team makeup is, and you just insert yourself in, and then I guess you could take the pressure off yourself.
The key is, because players like that, they're already phenomenal players.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So it's not so much that he needs to change as himself. It's that you got to know what these guys are capable of doing, what we need to do, where these guys like the ball. Right? You got to know the strength and weakness of your team, because sometimes you can just throw the guy the ball and be like, oh snap, he can't have the ball out there. Yeah. Well, it's too late. You already threw it. So.
Yeah. So,
right? You got to know what type of team are we are. Are we an up and down team? Are we a half court grind out team? Like, those are important, right? Because you as the point guard, you quarterback all that.
Yeah. That's dope. What Stan Van Gundy, coach. What type of coach did he mean to you? You talked about how he gave you that opportunity, you know, for you to have that play-in contract with Toronto.
Stan was before, it was, you're right, Miami going into Toronto. But Stan, it means a lot. He's just a guy that believes in my ability, believed that I can run and lead a team from a point guard standpoint, and he gave me the opportunity. Even when I was struggling for some of the season, it was a season where he allowed me to play through the mistakes. Right? It was the first time in my NBA career that I played significant minutes. Right? Even though I came off the bench, I played starter minutes. I started some that year too as well, in the 03-04 season. It's just the first time I got significant minutes on a team that was going to the playoffs, making a playoff push, playing meaningful basketball in March and April. As you see a lot of teams now.
Yeah.
You get to this part of the season, it's just you just finished out the season, but then you have those teams that are in the playoffs that you play meaningful basketball in March and April and May, right? So that was the thing that he helped me with, and he helped prolong my career. Then the following year I get a 6-year deal, so you're in the contract with 6 more years. You end up playing 6 more years, so I think that's the best thing that happened, playing understand it. And also you get a chance to understand what it is to manage yourself and body, your mental aspect through a grinding NBA season.
Yeah, because it's 82?
82 games.
Yeah, 82.
But you got more practice than games.
So
that's the part people don't understand.
Yeah, I say that.
It's a grind, man. You get mentally, you can get tired by February or March. You just need to retool. That's a good thing. That's the only good thing about All-Star Weekend is that's that break, especially for the guys that's not in the All-Star extravaganzas.
Yeah.
So if you're not in the dunk contest, 3-point contest, in the All-Star game, well, you get to either go home, you get to go on a little mini vacation with your family and friends or whatever and just relax for a second, and then you get to come back recharged and, ready to finish the second half of the season.
Because that's one thing I always thought about. I'm like, look, I'm sore as hell practicing football. Imagine practicing basketball and playing 82 games, because I see guys, they have those ice packs on their knees doing interviews and their back. And, man, I know it's a full grind. What big adjustment you had, your biggest adjustment from college, playing in the a small college games to the NBA? How'd you make that big adjustment?
The adjustment is that understanding the speed of the game and understand that guys are bigger, faster, stronger. Right? So certain things you're doing in college that it just doesn't pan out in the NBA because these guys cover ground fast. For most fans, if not all fans, when they watch it from the TV standpoint, they think the game is that these guys are moving slow, but it's fast. If you ever sat courtside, it's like a horse race going up and down that court. They're moving.
You hear that on the
ground. That. These guys are big and strong, and so just imagine these collisions. So it's just a matter. Those are the big adjustments, and making sure you keep your body strong throughout the season and in the off season. And then one of the adjustments is changing your diet, eating the right foods, at all times. So because, your body's taking the beating, the pounding. That's the biggest thing, man.
Yeah. And you said besides you said the main person who you kind of stayed up with was Ray Allen. And he was like very good with his diet, and he came in shape.
And Ray, every year. So my first year was with Ray Allen. Ray, he was somebody I just looked at. I didn't have to follow him around. You get to understand him. And every year he came in the best shape, kept his body weight down. You never saw, even today you see Ray, he's not, doesn't have no belly or that shit. So, today I think I saw some, not today, but just seeing him today, you might see him riding his bike miles and miles and miles every day. So that was one guy I looked at about, as far as making sure I come in shape, because so many, even before I got to the NBA, the big consensus was that a lot of players they would come in out of shape and play themselves in shape during the training camp and during the course of the season. And that's how injuries happen. But that was the NBA way. Back in those times, before I even got in the league, guys would come in, a little out of shape and play themselves in shape and train the camp and through the first half of the season, and then by February, March, April, they're in good shape. Hopefully, going to the playoffs. But Ray, just watching him, he helped me understand that, man, stay in shape at all time, even all season, man.
I want to talk about perception. I know coming out, when you was entering the draft, everybody talked about your game. It's just a street baller, and then you get drafted. Your first day of practice, like an hour before. What's going through your mind before that first day of practice?
My first time, the first day of practice, the only nervous part of it was that I had to make sure I'm on top of everything that's thrown at me. So basically, whatever is the schedule for the first day of practice, I gotta make sure I'm on top of it. Due to the fact, back then, the second round pick, you weren't guaranteed money, right? Sometimes you might get guaranteed a little bit of it, but it wasn't guaranteed. So I started to make the team.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I was nervous. Other than that, going into it, it's like another day in the court. And see, what helps me is that I played one position my whole life.
Yeah.
And that was what helped me. Mm-hmm. What they all thought is that I'm this street ball kid and I just want to play the fight. But when they finally had a chance to see me play and be around me, they understood that was the first thing from the truth. Yeah. So it was on coaches, scouts, it was on them to realize and for them to break away from that stigma, not me. Yeah. A lot of people try to do it. Players try to do it the other way around. Like, I got to show them that I'm not. I didn't have to show them. Yeah. I just had to continue to play the way I knew how to play, and play the game I've watched and studied since I was a kid. You know, the good thing about growing up in New York, man, I get to learn from all sorts of point guards, not just the guys that are in the parks during the summer and the winter. You got guys from New York City that were on TV in college when I was young. Mark Jackson, Kenny Smith, right? Vern Fleming, Rod Strickland. All these guys are on TV. Then you had guys in the pros, right? Yeah. New York guys in the pros. Yeah. So then you had guys that were in high school that were dominating. Kenny Anderson, Khalid Reeves, Derek Phelps. The list goes on in New York as far as point guard. So I was able to watch all these guys and play with and against guys that we were all trying to be the best point guard we can be. But you know, so the NBA comes, these coaches and scouts had to figure out and understand that, you know, they didn't have to show me how to throw a post pass. Yeah. Right? You still got point guards now that can't get the ball in the post. Yeah. Right? They didn't have to show me that. They didn't have to show me how to run the team or run the play. Right? So after a while, the only knock was, can I stretch the defense with my jump shot? And in which I end up working on that every day in all season and during the season. I end up I think I had like 3 or 4, maybe 5 straight years of hitting 100 threes in a season. So you go from a guy that everybody he can't shoot to he's making these threes. So you know that really was the one knock. And then sometimes lose my cool mentally. You know, which everyone has a bad day at the office. Yeah,
everybody has one. Did you go in with a chip on your shoulder, or you always played with
I just played.
Just played.
I just played, man. Basketball is something I did in love since I was 5 years old. Since someone gave me a ball. And I just played. And I could play any style of game they wanted to play. Yeah. If they want to go up tempo, I can go up tempo. They want to play a half court grind out. Well, defense was one of my strong points. Yeah. You know, keeping the ball in front of me. I'm not saying I never got driven by before, but it wasn't happening all night long. Yeah. If I was a smaller player than most point guards, they try to post me up. They might get 1 or 2, but it won't be all night long. I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah. So I just went. If they want to talk trash, well, I come from a place that we're born on talking trash. So it was simple, man. It was just like I said. You know what kind of day I was gonna have from a night out basis. That am I shooting a high percentage tonight, or am I struggling from the field? You know, that's basically what it was.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, because I don't know. I had a chip on the shoulder. I was a low draft pick. I was trying to make things happen.
You know, football could be a little different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're a low draft pick and you get your opportunity. Your opportunity might only come 2 series. Yeah. You know what I mean? And if you get a false start or put in the man, listen,
you're out. Get out of here.
They're already on the phone to their scouts. Hey, what's that kid from Alabama or Texas A&M? Go, keep an eye on him. see if he falls in the draft next year.
And we talked about you know, I want to talk, and feel free if you don't want to talk. I want to talk about misconceptions. You know, being wrongfully accused. There was several occasions they put you out there, and they brung up your name just to put you out there. Could you just comment on that? On how, you know, being famous, being in a high-profile job as a professional athlete, you know, a lot of people don't know. They just always see that. Oh, it's great. You're on TV. You're making money. But let alone, you don't know you got a target on your back. And people will come after you. Case in point, I got drafted. You know, my nephew's mother called me. I ain't even got a contract yet. She want me to buy a Jeep or else I can't see my nephew anymore. Yeah. So it's just comment on just being, you know, being in the spotlight and how to handle things like that up that perspective.
When you're, a high-profile athlete, a guy who, pretty much come into millions and millions of dollars, life's changed for you, as it should, right? Because that's what we dream, of making it, and that's what we want. Right? We want things to change. What also changes is your friends and families' way of thinking and their hopes of living, right? So they want their lifestyle to change because of based on your income, and you got to have the right people behind you and with you to guide you in how to handle your family coming at you, friends coming at you, with their palms facing the sky all the time. So, what they don't understand is, and a lot of people in the world don't understand, that it's easy for athletes, entertainers, whatever, to come into 15, 20 minutes and blow it because, right, that's all the people see is, oh, he got $20 million or he can sign for $80 million. Right, that's all they see. But they don't know you got to cut that in half from taxes off top. So now it's come down to 40, right? Now you have your agent fees, you have your living expenses. If you have kids, 9 times out of 10, a lot of these women, they're gonna run to child support on you. Yeah. So depending on what city and state you're in, that could be a chunk of money, right? Right. So, right, you want to make sure your mother is good, your brother and sister, because a lot of people don't understand. A lot of us come from low income, impoverished neighborhoods, right? Right. So we desire to find the things in life for our family, not just for ourselves. Yeah. So you're taking all that into consideration. Then you also have to take consideration your own lifestyle that you love to have and do, right? So people don't understand. It can be easy for athletes to blow up because of so much on their shoulders that they take on. You got to have the right people, right support system, and right financial people with you. What's also hard too is finding the right woman. If I try to encourage people, like, if you had a high school sweetheart, I hope you can stay with her all the way through. At least you know each other. Yeah. And, it's key because she know you. Like, she knew you when you had nothing. Yeah. Right? Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of us, we make it and we meet these women outside and we don't realize until it's too late that we have nothing in common. Right? We have nothing in common. Your likes are not my likes. I don't understand your dislike. You don't understand. Some of us don't even understand each other's religion. Right? So there's a lot of things that go on with this stuff, man. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough because, and then you got everyone coming at you, financial advice coming at you left and right. You don't know who's trying to just take your money. If you go out, you got dudes trying to start trouble with you just so they can get a payday. I've had that happen to me quite a few times, man. Like, one time I went out in New York City, they said I stabbed somebody. And I'm sitting there like, for what reason? Yeah. And that's the thing, like, so the guy could lie. Yeah. He can go, somebody can go right now to the courthouse or to the police, say, Rafer Alston stabbed him. I have to defend. I gotta go get the good lawyer, $20,000, $30,000 lawyer to defend myself or something. I know, and they know I didn't do it. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
And to elaborate on that story, you said and it showed tape that you was leaving.
Not only did it show tape I was leaving, I'm oblivious to whatever happened to the guy. Yeah, but I think in his mind was, because some of the guys that he got into it with, I was shaking their hands and they came up to my table to have a drink. Yeah, he felt that they were with me and I told them to do it. And I'm saying to myself, I never even had a problem with the guy. I don't even know why, but they see dollar signs. Yeah. Everyone sees that. There's people going through it now. They got picked up something the other day, and some girl accused Chris Brown or something, this, that, and the third. These people go through it now. Yeah. I even I heard Will Smith. He got an award. Shout out to Will. But he says, it's not easy being famous. He said he has a full-time lawyer who handle all his affairs because he gets sued at least 15 to 20 times a year. It's tough, man. It's tough, man. It's tough, and you tip your hat to people who don't have to go through a lot of stuff. You tip your hat to famous people that don't have to go through some of that. But a lot of people that are famous in the spotlight, they some point in their career travel, they're gonna run into one of these problems, and it's gonna be something that they really they didn't do or they didn't have any, like it had nothing to do with the situation. Yeah. It's just somebody looking for a payday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but that's not to discredit the ones that do something.
Yeah.
You know, I've had my slip ups before. Well, I've probably done something, but and you own up to it, and you just own up to it, and life goes on. The problem with being an athlete or entertainer or somebody that's a star on the spotlight is we become robots. We're not human anymore. We're robots, right? Yeah. My speeding ticket is not the same as someone else's speeding ticket. Yeah. My speeding ticket, I should go to jail. I should lose my contract. That's that. Yeah. The next person's speeding ticket, a normal or everyday person, it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, don't let it happen again, right? Why is it that my speeding ticket looks like I'm the worst person in the world? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, that's how athletes are looked at. Yeah, it's like you're not normal anymore. You're a robot. You're held to the a standard that is. It's abnormal. It's like you can't even live. Yeah, you can't live. Like I could see somebody in a restaurant and they don't a couple and they don't ran through 2 bottles of wine, perfectly fine. If me and my wife and somebody go to the restaurant, we run through 2 or 3 bottles of wine. Oh, he's a drunk. He's just Jesus.
Yeah. Because it's funny. I had a discussion like that the other day. I said, look. We were talking about political, so I normally don't get into it because, honestly, about sports. Mm-hmm. We work with people who don't believe in what we believe in, religion, same religion. It doesn't matter. We try to win. We try to work together and win. So it doesn't matter. We respect people's opinion and keep it moving. But I told her, I said, look, man, I don't, regardless of what you believe in, who you voted for, I still going to treat you the same way you want to be treated.
I'm treat you with respect.
And with respect, and a lot of people just don't get that. Don't get that at all. What? Okay, I got a couple questions and get you out of here pretty soon. All right. Oh yeah, I had 2 more. What do you think about that Ja Morant?
I love Ja Morant. Man, my youngest son who plays ball, he loves Ja Morant. He's spectacular. I loved him when he was at Murray State. I'm loving him now, man. Just for him, I just like to see him work on his body a little more. Yeah. Because the way he plays, one thing he understands, you keep taking that hit and keep hitting that floor. The floor undefeated. So at the end of the day, the floor might be 5,000 BC and O. Yeah, for real. So that's my biggest thing with Morant. But other than that, man, I hope he keeps doing what he do, and I hope he do it for a long time.
And what about your opinions with the Lakers? What do you think they fell off on?
The Lakers, to be honest with you, it's another thing. This is another thing for them that they don't understand. That's undefeated. That's Father Time. That's it. That's it. They got 4 future Hall of Famers on their team: LeBron, Westbrook, Howard, and Carmelo. You can't. To me personally, it's my opinion. I think those are 4 Hall of Famers. Yeah, they're old now. Yeah. I watched them the last 3 nights, coming out of the All-Star break, and they lost. Looks bad. And one of the reasons the other team is just running by them. Mm-hmm. It's not that they're terrible players. It's not that they're a terrible team. They're old. Yeah. You're relying on old guys that have so much wear and tear. Mm-hmm. Look at those 4 guys alone. The wear and tear on their body all these years of playing at a high level, right? It's tough. Yeah. It's tough. You ask them to keep up with guys that are in the prime. You ask them to guard Luka Doncic, who arguably is top 2, top 3 player in the league. Yeah. He's not even in his prime. He's like 21, 22 years old. So you asking a 36, 37-year-old man to guard him? Really? I don't understand, from a general manager standpoint and a coach standpoint, that's not realistic. Yeah. Like, I understand how great LeBron is. But it's unrealistic to ask this man to guard that man. And you saw it. Yeah. He was hitting him with a step back and looking and going by him, flow. It's like, right? They even got Ariza on the bench. Ariza had tons of wear and tear. He's always played all the way to June. Yeah. So that's my take on those guys. Look, they are who they are. Their record is what their record is right now. And, man, I just tip my hat to those guys. What a career. Mm-hmm. I don't look down on like the rest of the people. Listen, I could tell you so many of my favorite NBA guys in the world it happened to. Patrick Ewing. Dominique Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas was my idol. When that time came and them players showed, listen, man, it's our time. Yeah. That's all it is. It's not, look. Yeah. The one other part about the Lakers is trying to make somebody something they're not at the tail end of their career. Yeah. So you're trying to make Russell Westbrook a jump shooter.
Yeah. That was a bad
at this point in his career. I don't think that, it's not real. It's not. I don't know. I can't blame the coach or GM. I'm just saying, whatever. that's not logical, man. Yeah. It's like, come on. These are people who get paid a lot of money to put these players together, these teams, and sign this one and trade this one, and to not see that. Like, so you want him. So even if you give LeBron the ball to facilitate, you're asking Westbrook to spot up in his 30s. Yeah. He hasn't spotted up and shot since he was a kid, high school, college, all those years to now. He wasn't a spot up shooter. And you're going to ask him to do that. So now the other team they understand that he's struggling shooting the ball. So what they do now is take his man, load him up, go double, and force you to throw the ball to a guy who's like struggling. Yeah. The last thing I'll say about the Lakers, the saddest part is on the same guy, because I admire Westbrook. I love his game. I love all his body of work up until even to now. Is, can you imagine what he's really going through? Yeah. A guy that's an LA guy. Yeah. Dreams and aspirations of being a Laker. You're playing in front of your family and friends every night, right? This is a dream come true, right? And it's just not working out, right? And he did the interview the other night and said, "Nah, I don't take it home." You might not take the booing home, but the bad performance night in, night out, we all take that home. Yeah, and it hurts. And for him, I probably I can only imagine. I can't say this shit. I can only imagine how much that hurts, because for him, he probably wants so bad for that to just work out. Man, you're a Laker. Like if it happened to me and I was a New York Knick, and they traded for me, and I'm just, I can't throw a rock in the ocean, like, and I'm in front of my family and friends every night. Yeah. I can only imagine how that feels, man. You know what I'm saying? I would be devastated. Like, I would go home and I probably just wouldn't talk. Like, even though you don't want to do that because you got kids, your wife and stuff, but I would go home like, I just gonna go to bed, baby. Because so for him, man, I just, I hate that this happened to him. I don't want that to happen to anyone. Because it's tough, man. Because we're competitive. That's what drives us every year. Doesn't matter if he's making $200-300 million. That's the reason he comes back in shape, and the reason these guys come back and they don't really, there's no real off season for the NBA, because you gotta come back in great shape. Yeah, for real. Your body, your mind, everything. While all your family and friends in the summertime, they want to go to the beach and go to Germany and Greece and London, all these different places. Yeah. You going with them, but you still think about, man, I gotta work out. I gotta get this, stay in shape. And it's because we've developed that love and thrill of the competition. I want to win it again. I want to beat them again. Or if they beat me, I got to get them. We're going to get them this year. That's what drives them. So I know those guys want to win in L.A. There's still time. Yeah. But I don't, I don't see them really win the series against the top 2 and 3 teams in the West. I just don't see them winning that series. Yeah, the series against them. It's unfortunate to see. And it's unfortunate to see, like, for some of them, Carmelo, Dwight. It's unfortunate to see this is the way it may end. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I got a 2-part question. What would you rather have, Shaq's dominance or Tim Duncan's fundamentals? That's tough. That's tough because I love Shaq, but I think I might rather have Tim Duncan's fundamentals, because the fundamentals and it would take you long. Longer. Yeah, the dominance could come to an end quicker than the fundamentals will. Oh yeah. I don't think the fundamentals probably will ever come as you see, the Duncan just hung up his shoes, but he probably could have played another year or two. Probably at 17 minutes a night, 18 minutes a night, and he still could be effective with his fundamentals. Yeah. Whereas your dominance in what you're dominant at, it goes away because of age and wear and tear. Right? So all that high flying, dunking, and all that stuff. Oh no, when you get older, you're not jumping high anymore. Your body's tore up. So that dominance, as you saw with Shaq, it goes because of all the wear and tear and age.
Okay, another one. Would you have LeBron's athleticism or Kobe Bryant's mentality?
I would go with Kobe Bryant's mentality. The reason is because it's a mentality that helps you night in, night out. No matter what defense is thrown at you, no matter what is being said about you, no matter what's being done to you on the court, that mentality and that drive to by all means necessary get it done, win by all costs. The hard work. Every day, every night, we take you far further.
Okay, cool. And close, if there was a kid that's growing up, point guard, if he wanted to learn anything, what would you, try to mentor him over? Like, what would you think to give him some, wishful thoughts to get to a position you played in?
It's hard work. Don't stop working. Understand what the point guard role is, not just understanding what some point guards are doing. A lot of these youngsters, they want to be Lillard, Curry, and these guys, but they don't understand what they went through to get to this point. So it's okay to be the point guard you are. Just be the best point guard that you can be within your framework, body, mind, and style of play. Right, because we all different. I had dreams and aspiration to be Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah,
but we play the game different. So I had to realize that look, my game is just as good. It's just I play it different. Yeah, I'm a different kind of point guard than him. So that's why I try to tell the kids, man, just and love what you do, have fun. Yeah, because a lot of them, when you get to a certain point, the business part of it takes the love and the fun away from you. You play football, you have friends and peers that play. The business part has destroyed a lot of our colleagues. And nowadays, because of times are different with social media and everything, it's destroying these young kids at an early age. Because everything is put out there at a young age. These guys got Huddle, all these different platforms, Baller TV, all these different platforms where they can showcase their ability. And you got all these, now you got about 40 different scouting services. Yeah. So, man, don't let no one take the love and the joy away from you, man. Just love it. Because one thing I try to tell kids, man, the good thing about us is we were going to play the game for free. Like I'm telling you right now, even if I didn't play in the NBA, Sunday morning, they let's go play. I'm going to play. I'm going to play like I'm in the NBA. So that's the way you develop the love and the joy in it. And to me, man, with all the persevering, hard work, man, make sure you're taking care of the books. And just be mentally tough and mentally prepared for what's to come.
Okay, perfect. Anything you want to plug? Anything?
Nah, man, just
working everybody.
Rafer Alston, man, just was coaching varsity at the tail end of the season for Fort Bend Christian Academy. Coached 7th, 8th grade AAU ball for RA Elite. Okay,
personal training. So can people come out?
I haven't got back to doing personal training because my doing all this coaching is big. But I'll do it. I'll get to it. You can follow me on Rafer724 Alston. At Rafer724 Alston on Instagram. Okay, Facebook just Rafer Alston. That's it, man.
Okay. Well, hey, thanks again for another episode. I appreciate the awesome guest. Hey, y'all lock in with another episode. Remember, undefeated. It's about overcoming adversity, and not taking a loss. So thanks again, and y'all stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.